Hello, everybody, and this is Connie Skaggs from Latson, South Carolina, and I thought I would come on and do a quick, I always say they're going to be quick, but they never are. Quick YouTube video showing you the Simple Page Kit 9 that had come out recently and an alternate. And so today I'm going to work with scrap paper that I have left over from making the virtual crop sketches this past weekend. I used the older Copper Canyon instead of the Copper Canyon 2 that's just come out. And so I had like 2 sheets of paper, a couple that I'd punched some circles out of, some random pieces, and I want to put those together and make this same sketch. So let me change my camera and let's go and look at how to use this simple page kit. And I'm going to show you another tip on that. So change my camera, and I appreciate it too. So here I have the instructions. And of course, the first thing I do is I measure out. And of course, this is our kit, and it comes with the stickers, and it comes with a piece of paper that's got lines on the back that we're going to cut apart. It comes with 2 pieces of pre-made pages, but if you didn't need to use those, you can use the back side, which is the more muted kind. It looks like birch wood, and so you could just use those and decorate them up. But this adds extra color to your page. And if you follow the instructions, they have all these different pictures where you can put 5 different pictures. You can add some embellishments and things from the stickers and all of that. However, and of course, I will show you by cutting this out. And one of the things I saw on this one immediately, and we did it yesterday with someone in my class, is instead of doing the 3 4x4s, we took this section here that's got 5, 6, and 7 in it, and we ended up cutting it in half. So we didn't only have 2 4x6, we have 2 more. And then I could put 2 4x6s and 2 4x6s, on both pages. And I could change the orientation of them. If I wanted 2 of them to be vertical and 2 of them to be horizontal, it works perfect. I don't have to do much cutting, just a little trimming off of those pictures. And then you got 4 pictures down. No matter how you do it, if you want to offset a small one, you can on either side, and you still got plenty of room to journal or put a little journal box. So I'm going to cut mine that way today, which is different than what's on the back. But if you want to follow along with just the lines as the way they are, then you can do that. So this is the first time I've I think one of the other ones I did, I cut one of the bigger ones, and I cut it in 3 4x6 squares instead of what they wanted to do. Excuse me. So of course, with our personal trimmer, we've got the little sight lines that you can see here. They've got the little black line here, and that shows right where you cut, because on this first dotted line is where the cutting blade is, and the next dotted line is when you turn your mat around. Our trimmers are great, and I love them. I have a tendency to turn it around the other way when I'm cutting the shorter pieces because I like to hold on to the paper. But it gets to where you don't even have to use the sight lines very often. But I do use them when I'm cutting my first cut, here. And I've got one at the bottom too. And so that I can have both of them. But one cut up and that strip is done. And this one here, same way. Want it right on the line. Do the little strip. And so there's that one. Now this one I do, and I should have turned it over because it does show just a tiny bit of the orange that's on this other side. So I'm just going to put it back on here, line it up here as the 2-inch mark. And it shows me that I just went over just a little bit. And of course, I want to be very cautious with this and go a little slower just so I could get this tiny, tiny piece off. And so you can't hardly even see it on my hand here. So, but that's how tiny it is. And so that got that little bit of orange. Now, however, on the page, they show to do a sticker over top of it. And that's all we done yesterday. We just turned the other lady's piece around and had her to put her sticker on top, and it covered up the little bit of orange. It was her first time using the trimmer, and so those work. Now they have two little notches here, so you can make it as a flag, and you can just do that with our scissors. I love our little micro tip scissors. They are great for using for those kind of things. And so we'll just cut this real quick. And of course, there's the other way you can do it by folding the page and just one snip, and it does it too. And so take that off to make that little banner. And the same thing here from corner up to the center, and code from this corner to the center again. And so that is all there is to creating those banners. Micro tip scissors are great for the little things that you like to trim off. Okay, let's do these others real quick. And all I'm going to do is lay this out so you can kind of get an idea of the page. And then I'm going to cut this one in half. This one I do have to put out my arm in order to do this, or if I got my photo trimmer out, I could do the paper like that. But I am going to cut this one at 6 inches in half. And so that gives me 4 mats. Okay. So I'm going to set that aside for just a second and just kind of lay this out so you can see. I won't glue everything down just because it's easier just to show you here. And so they had this going across here kind of in the center of these, and another one on this side. And then we've got a couple here. And you had a way down here. You could do it down here. I kind of like it up this way, if that'll work. And see, I might need to go just a little bit higher, because if I'm going to do 2 on this side, I want this to be the same height across. And this one actually could go down to meet with that other one. You have a good mount here to put something. This doesn't match, but let's just say that I had another little block here that I wanted to do as a, journal box or something. Besides the stickers and things that would be here. This is plenty of room to do a whole nother 4x4 picture, and it doesn't matter that it's on this and goes off on this edge, because if you've just used the photo on here, there's plenty of color there to elevate that. So just kind of showing you, this would be one of the ways to do this page. This would be another ideal here. And so just showing you, these are some of the options to do with this page kit. Wonderful fall embellishments. If you purchase these from me online on my website, and I always put that in, but it's, I am a Creative Memories advisor. And so it's Connie Skaggs, Skaggs, and I'm in Ladson, South Carolina, right outside of Charleston, South Carolina. 29456 is the zip code, and that just kind of helps you. And you see my picture, so you could probably match me up with my picture. And so I end up sending a little gift to you if it's your first time ordering from me. And so they have this wonderful little bitty pack that goes along with this. And right now I have a couple extras of these, which I'm glad to send them to anybody that orders from my website as a new customer to me. So just letting you know that it's an option out there. Okay, so we're going to take this, and of course, one of the things I did was I measured these. This is 3/4 of an inch. This part here is 3.5. This is 7 by 10. This is 3.5 by 10. This is a 2-inch by 3/4 of an inch frame. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do, I was going to do the frame different because I could just do two pieces down and another piece across and butt them up against each other. That would work fine. Then I could have my busy paper here. But I think I'm gonna try something different. And so we're just gonna go with it and see. And of course, I happen to have these two pages pretty much left, which are full pages. I kind of hate to take up all the space that big place did, but I have these two pieces that are big enough to do the 7 by 10. And so if I'd done like that one there at the 10 inch and this one over here at the 10 inch, so these collars go well together. And so that would work there. And then I have some other scrap pieces that I have that I can make mats out of. So let me go ahead and cut this because I'm not sure I'm even going to do the top piece. It may just stay this color. And so do this at 7 inches. If you can see, it is just barely do I have enough there of that. So we'll set that aside. And I only need 10 inches. And so that can be set aside. And so this one is already, that's right at 7 inches. So I just had a little bit to take off of that one. And then I only need 10 inches. So, and this other one's got so much pattern with it, I don't think I can use the back side of it. I'm just going to use this plainer side. Well, I did not even get my blade down. And that's when I'm doing it fast, I don't pay attention to my pressure sometimes. So, and that's a little extra piece. All right. I've also got a few scraps here, which I think I can get four 4 by 6s out of this piece. This is 8 inches wide, so that'll work. So let me go ahead and do that. Inch. I think this might just have a little sliver. Needs to come off. And this is a little more than 4 inches. This is how you make the best use of your paper. Now there's a 1.5 inch strip, I think. So you know how we were doing all those 1/2 inch strips on something recently. And we done a big old long tall border at the top. So there's 4 mats. And so then I've got to decide, do I want to do anything at the top of this? You know, instead of maybe a full, and I don't know that I want to do the banner across, but I could. What I have left, now I only have 2 strips that are 12 inches. And they could be this, and they could go on either side because they've got this stripe, which don't look bad. And they've got the brown. So this is one that I would want to just fold a little bit and snip. Fold and snip up towards your center. And there's my little flag, my banner part. Okay, so I'm going to save them because I still don't know that I'm going to use them. So, but anyway, they're there. And then, and these have got stripes on them, so I have to watch which way they go. So they might need to be, might work. All right. I think these are exactly 10 inches because I think I had, yeah, they are. Okay, let's see. Works here. Okay, so we have this that should be at the 3/4, but I'm only going to put it down at 1 inch. And same thing on this other side at the 1 inch. And what happens, that, and of course, I have this mat that these are our mats. I have it pushed together, duct tape on the back of it to hold these two together. And I love it because I can lay out a 2-page spread very easily. And our mats are, I want to say $15. I believe they're still 15. They might be more. I don't know. Hard to tell. So, and maybe I just want to put that little bit there because why? This fits perfect. So, and it's just a couple pieces that I had left over. And I didn't have to do no cutting or anything on that. That looks crooked, but it does. Oh, probably because this is something here on this one. It's not quite right. Anyway, we'll just go with it. When the time to get them all done up, it'll be different. Now, I told you what I can do. I can push this up a 1/2 inch. And I can push this one up a 1/2 inch. Why? Because I can use this in between. There's the banner. And this one has a banner. And there might be a lot of similar colors to you, but sometimes I don't like all the extra bright colors. Now, it looks like I've got a lot going on here. And so let's just put those two there. But what if on this side, I changed it to the browns? I don't think that's bad. It's a different brown than this. This has got a more copper look. Now, I did have this piece of copper left that I was working with. And I could do this piece up here in this copper if I wanted to, but I'm not sure. And then I don't have enough. I don't have anything else that's the full 12 inches that would work because it's either matching this piece or the stripes are going the wrong way. And so that's what will make a difference on all that. But I, still not sure which way to go with it. I kind of like that, but I'm not sure about these. And maybe, you know, and this is not the right color to do that. Now, I could go with the brown here. That's pretty bright. It's bringing in that brown. And then you could use these on this side. Just an option. But see, this is automatically the same type of layout as we have in here. It's okay that it's mixed up a little bit, that this banner is not 2 inches, because I didn't have another 2-inch piece that was going to be a full going across as a 12-inch piece. And like I said, I'm using up scraps. I have these two other little pieces, and of course, let's go over here or something like that as a little thing. This is a whole totally different. It's the back side of this one, which I really liked. The other thing, remember how I've done that where I've gutted it out where I measured and I could do this and cut this part out and flip it to the other side so you had two same pieces out of the same paper. I just didn't want to do that today, but that's an easy way to take this piece and use the back side of it. But I chose not to do that. And so I just thought, let me just use up the things that are left. And so that's where I was at. The only other thing is I feel like is whether I changed. I don't like that at all, but I don't mind it on this piece. And it's nothing wrong with getting a piece of cardstock. Um, you know, we do have our index sheet and it's wide enough you know, that I could do a 2-inch border or a 1-inch border. Let's do 1.5. And I'm just going to do one to try because, and again, I'm just folding. And I'm going from the corner up to about a 1/2 inch because that's just about what I like whenever I'm doing a banner. Let's see how that looks instead of having so much of the turquoise. And then this could actually go up a whole inch. And, you know, I don't particularly like the white up against this, but it's not bad. But if I used another cardstock, you know, you always have these pieces left over, 1-inch strips, 2-inch strips, and I have them down in here. But if I had one that was, you know, a different color, I could use brown. Brown wouldn't go with this, but it would go okay with this side because it's got some brown in it. And that way, then you could just do that and have brown here. I could use caramel. I could use Island Waters. I could use deep sea green. Um, I could use beige. There's several colors, and of course, black or white usually just pops in on anything. So I think I still like this best at the 1/2 inch. Same thing here. I kind of still like that. So that might be what I end up with. You know, who knows if I end up going like this. And then this piece here could go over here. And so kind of like that too, because it ties those pieces in together. So you all have to let me know what you think. And so hopefully you will have learned something today that I wanted to share. But the Copper Canyon that come out is great. Another thing you can do instead of doing one of these is do a border sticker. The new Copper Canyon has got several nice border stickers in with their stickers this time. And so I just thought that was a nice touch too. So just playing a little catch up today, and so we'll see which way this goes. Um, I really kind of like the back side of this piece. I would like this side too, and so I was not for sure which way I wanted to go, and so there's a whole nother look on that. But it does not matter that these two pages are different and the layout still kind of, you know, you can even use them on different pages or whatever. So hopefully that will inspire you to try something different. Just use up your scraps and let me know what you've done with them. I appreciate it a lot. And so that you were able to visit with me today on my YouTube channel. And so hopefully you will have enjoyed this video today and grabbed a little tip. And so we will see you next time. And again, this is Connie Skaggs from Latson, South Carolina, and I appreciate all of you watching. See you later. Bye.